Manjari, hello?
Chicky, did you get those pretzels?
No, man, they didn't have it there.
I'll grab it from you from Kroger. Kroger has it for sure.
No, I'll check this. I've checked this Kroger too, but what's it called? Didn't have it.
Well, I'll probably go to Kroger in Murfreesboro on Sunday, so I can grab from there. And it's cheaper in Murfreesboro.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's singing? Big Bay is singing today, right? Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm only singing Yeshomati Nandan, that's all.
Yeah. And then I'll put down Bigger Bubble for next week because he got caught up with work yesterday.
Yesterday was beautiful, Abhishek bhai.
Lord have mercy, Auntie. I was dying at the end.
No,
Lord have mercy, Auntie.
Simply wonderful. And
Auntie, you want to hear something cute? Shreya will say Abhishek now, but it's oh shake. Oh shake. Oh shake. What is oh shake?
Oh,
so Shreya, what's his name? Mama. No, I say Abhishek. Oh shake.
That's my mom, she says.
But her oh shake mama sang beautifully.
Oh, whatever.
Thanks, Auntie.
She also thinks that she sings beautifully. She does not. Shreya.
Shreya, okay. How do you know that she does not?
Because I hear it.
No, you don't have the right ears to hear the right.
No. She got her mother's, Mausi's, and Nani's singing. She did not get Nana or Mama singing. She got ours.
Got it.
Oh, she can sing. Don't be rude. Nice girl.
She can sing.
Don't be rude.
Shraddu can sing. Shreya can't. Shreya can dance. Shraddu sings nicely.
My Anusha also dances very well.
It's so cute watching the tiny babies dance.
Yeah.
They clap their hands and move. It's so cute.
And if there is a duet, if a man and a woman are singing, she changes step. She changes her step for the man, and then she changes to something else. Then she goes back.
That's so cute. That's cute. She has to sing a dance for both of them. She's to change her steps. There's Mirage. Cool.
Yeah, right.
I'll go ahead and enable sharing too, so Mirage doesn't have to worry about it asking. Okay, that is enabled. So Mirage can share screen. And there's our leader. Perfect timing.
Thank you.
No, true. Pretty. Raya was on there.
Okay, everyone. Hare Krishna at 7:30. We'll go ahead and get started. There is no verse for this evening, so I'll ask that Vivek Bhaiya go ahead and unmute himself and take it away. Prabhu, if you will, sing to 7:50 or 7:45, but somewhere in that range.
Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tina Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tina देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे विशेष शून्य देशता नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी भाषता देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर वृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा हरे 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 राम हरे राम हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे हरे Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Thank you, Vishucharan Prabhu. Yashomati Nandana Brajabara Nagada Gokula Ranjana Kana.
Yashomati Nandana Brajabara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana.
Yashomati Nandana Brajabana Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana.
Yashomati Nandana Brajabara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana.
Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara
Gopi Paranadhana Madana Manohara
Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara
Gopi Paranadhana Madana Manohara
Kali Yadamana Vidana
Kali Yadamana Vidhana
Kali Yadamana Vidana
Kali Yadamana Vidana
Amalaharina Mamiya Vilasa
Amalaharinam Amiya Vilasa
Amalaharina Mamiya Vilasa
Amalaharinam Amiya Vilasa
Vipina Purandara Navina Nagara Bara
Vipina Purandara Navina Nagaravara
Vipina Purandara Navina Nagara Bara
Vipina Purandara Navina Nagaravara
Vamsi Badana Suwasa
Vamsi Badana Suvasa
Vamsi Badana Suwasa
Vamsi Vadana Suvasa
Braja Janapalana Surakulana Sana
Braja Janapalana Surakulanasana
Braja Janapalana Surakulana Sana
Braja Janapalana Surakulanasana
Nanda Godana Rakoala
Nanda Godana Rakovala
Nanda Godana Rakoala
Nanda Godana Rakovala
Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara
Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara
Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara
Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara
Sundarananda Gopala
Sundarananda Gopala
Sundarananda Gopala
Sundarananda Gopala
Yamuna Tatachara Gopi Basanahara
Yamuna Tatachara Gopi Basanahara
Yamuna Tatachara Gopi Basanahara
Yamuna Tatachara Gopi Basanahara
Rasa Rasika Kripamaya
Rasa Rasika Kripa Moya
Rasa Rasika Kripamaya
Rasa Rasika Kripa Moya
Shira Vallabha Vrindavana Natavara
Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natavara
Shira Vallabha Vrindavana Natavara
Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natavara
Bhakti Vinoda Shraya
Bhakti Vinoda Shraya
Bhakti Vinoda Shraya
Bhakti Vinoda Shraya
Read the translation.
Lord Krishna is the beloved son of Mother Yashoda, the transcendental lover in the land of Vraja, the delight of Gokula, Kana, the wealth of the lives of the gopis. He steals the mind of even Cupid and punishes the Kaliya serpent. These pure, holy names of Lord Hari are full of sweet nectarian pastimes. Krishna is the lord of the 12 forests of Vraja. He is ever youthful and is the best of lovers. He's always playing on a flute, and he's an excellent dresser. Krishna is the protector of the inhabitants of Vraja, the destroyer of various demoniac dynasties, the keeper and tender of Nanda Maharaja's cows, the giver of pleasure to the cow's land and spiritual senses, the husband of the goddess of fortune, the butter thief, and the beautiful cowherd boy of Nanda Maharaj. Krishna wanders along the banks of the river Yamuna. He stole the garments of the young damsels of Vraja who are bathing there. He delights in the mellows of the rasa dance. He's very merciful, the lover and beloved of Srimati Radharani, the great dancer of Vrindavan, and the shelter and only refuge of Thakur Bhakti Vinod. Hare Krishna.
So, Maharaj, we finished just a minute early. I assume we can get started with the lecture?
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, Maharaj, we can.
That is your misfortune, sir. I did not do it. Yes. Lecture. Reading.
Reading, sorry.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
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 Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chanda Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda.
Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila Chapter 9. Lord Chaitanya's tour of South India. Text 178. Dakshina Mathura Aila Kamakostihaite. You chant.
I haven't pulled up the verse yet, Maharaj.
Oh, can't you see it? Oh, I gotta share my screen.
Yes.
Let me share my screen. Make it big. What do I do here? Live. I'm gonna make it bigger. Make it bigger. Okay, then it shows share screen. Okay, then it showed my screen. Okay. Then it says share. Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, Maharaj.
Dakshina Mathura Aila Kamakosti Haite.
Dakshina Mathura Aila Kama Koshti Haite.
Dakshine Mathura Aila Kamakosti Haite.
Dakshina Mathura Aila Kama Koshti Haite.
Tahandeka Hoila Eka Brahmana Sahite.
Tahandeka Haila Eka Brahmana Staite.
Tahaneka Hoila Eka Brahmana Sahite.
Tahandeka Haila Eka Brahmana Staite.
Okay, you chant and I'll respond. Everybody else can chant in their houses with their microphones closed in their
Sure.
ashrams.
Dakshina Mathura Aila Kama Kosti Haite.
Dakshina Mathura Oila Kamak Osti Haite.
Tahandeka Haila Eka Brahma Sate.
Tahandeka Oila Eka Brahmana Sahite. What does Aila mean? What do you think?
Arrived.
Okay. Dakshina Mathura, southern Mathura. Yeah, Mathura in Uttar Pradesh, but there's also one place called Madurai. It's called southern Mathura. Kamakoshti Hoite. From Kamakoshti Tahan. There. Okay. My God, what happened here? Okay. He met Eka, one Brahmana. Eka, one Brahmana Sahite, with a Brahmana. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived at southern Mathura, from Kamakoshti, he met a Brahmana. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. And again, these are based on Bhaktisiddhanta has a commentary, what we understand, like that. And he even made a manual for traveling along the same pathway. What was it called? Parikrama, Vihastas, Vanaprastas were suggested in his community to travel that way. Southern Mathura, presently known as Madurai, is situated on the banks of the Bhagai River. This place of pilgrimage is specifically meant for the devotees of Lord Shiva. Therefore, it is called Shaiva Kshetra. That is the place where Lord Shiva is worshipped. In this area, there are mountains and forests. Oh, that's nice. There are also two Shiva temples, one known as Rameshvara and the other known as Sundareshvara. There is also a temple to Devi called the Meenakshi Temple, which displays very great architectural craftsmanship. It was built under the supervision of the kings of the Pandya dynasty, and when the Muslims attacked this temple, as well as the temple of Sundareshwar, great damage was done. In the Christian era, in the Christian year 1372, a king named Kamapana Udaryara reigned on the throne of Madurai. Long ago, Emperor Kulakshekar ruled this area, and during his reign, he established a colony of Brahmanas. A well-known king named Ananta Guna Pandya is an 11th generation descendant of Emperor Kulakshetra. That's not too many generations. Is he a currently living person, or was he later? Okay, let's go back. So Lord Chaitanya has arrived in Madurai. Can we erase these little spots here? Somebody has the power to do that. Annotate. Well, there we go. Okay, erase. I got an eraser now. I'm doing it. There we go. Okay. Okay. Keha hasi keha ninde taha. Oh my goodness. Okay. Control F. Go here. Oh my gosh. Control F. I became proud. Okay. And I was really chastised for my pride. Say Vipra Mahaprabhuke Koila Nimantrana Rama Bhakta Se Vipra Virakta Mahajana. The Brahmana who met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu invited the Lord to his home. This Brahmana was a great devotee and an authority on Lord Sri Ramachandra. He was always detached from material activities. So I guess it's like one of us seeing Srila Prabhupada passing along and inviting him to come to our home. It's a little amazing that Lord Chaitanya didn't attract so many people to join him on Parikrama, you know. So some people wanted to follow him, but he was able to stay alone when he would go from town to town, it seems. Kritamalaya Snanakari Aila Tanvagari. After bathing in the river Kritamala, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the Brahmana's house to take lunch. But he saw that the food was unprepared because the Brahmana had not cooked it. Seeing this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "My dear sir, please tell me why you have not cooked. It is already noon." Viparakahe. The Brahmana replied, "My dear Lord, we are living in the forest. For the time being, we cannot get all the ingredients for cooking. When Lakshman brings all the vegetables, fruits, and roots from the forest, Sita will do the necessary cooking." Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very satisfied to hear about the Brahmana's method of worship. Finally, the Brahmana hastily made arrangements for cooking. So we can call this, maybe we call it sadhana bhakti. He's practicing. Then it's raganuga. Of course, in Vaidhi Bhakti, we follow rules and regulations, but it's Raganuga Bhakti, we start to follow the raga, you know, of one devotee, one Atma, who's completely absorbed in that raga. So you see, who is he following? He's more like he's describing. He says, "We," you know, Sita will cook. So he sounds like he's a servant in the house of Ram in the forest. Maybe he's a squirrel or something there, and watching what's happening. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took his lunch at 3 o'clock with the Brahmana being very sorrowful, fasted. Prabhu kahe. While the Brahmana was fasting, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him, "Why are you fasting? Why are you so unhappy? Why are you so worried?" Vipra kahe. "I have no reason to live. I shall give up my life by entering fire or water." Okay. Agne jale pravesha chadiyaba jiva. My dear sir, Mother Sita is the mother of the universe and the supreme goddess of fortune. She has been touched by the demon Ravana, and I am troubled upon hearing this news. Sir, due to my unhappiness, I cannot live long. Although my body is burning, my life is not leaving. So it's like Jatayu. I guess Jatayu was aware. He could talk. Okay, he was there with Sita and Ram. Was he the only person who talked? The only animal who talked? Prabhu kahe. Please do not think this way any longer. You are a learned pundit. Why don't you consider the case? Sita Devi, the dearmost wife of the Supreme Lord Ramachandra, certainly has a spiritual form full of bliss. No one can see her with material eyes, for no materialist has such power. To say nothing of touching Mother Sita, a person with material senses can't even see her. When Ravana kidnapped her, he kidnapped only a material, illusory form. Sitara akate maya harila Ravan. Ravana asite Sita antardana koila. Ravanera age maya Sita pataila. As soon as Ravana arrived before Sita, she disappeared. Wow, she didn't even stay around. This was, Then, just to cheat Ravana, she sent an illusory material form. Spiritual substance is never within the jurisdiction of the material conception. That is always the verdict of the Vedas and Puranas. So here Prabhupada is now giving us some references from the Upanishads to support this. He's taking it from the commentary of Bhaktisiddhanta. Katha Upanishad 2, 3, 9, and 12. So we can, of course, how's it go? We know from the Katha Upanishad, Nityo Nityanams Chaitanas Chaitananam Eko Bahunam Yogi Dati Kaman. It's Katha Upanishad. And that's 2.2.12, 2.2.13, as far as I know. It's double trouble for the Mayavadis, 2.2.13. And of course, Prabhupada quotes it so many times. So here we have two. So as I remember, there's two divisions in the Katha Upanishad, and three, and maybe then within the second division, there's 3 parts, 9th verse, 12th verse. So, Sandrashe Tishtati Rupam Asya Na Chakshusha Pashyati Kaschanainyam Hridamanisha Manas Abhiklipto Yare Tadvid Ramatas Tabavanti Naiva Vachana Manasa Praptim Shako Nachukas Chakusha. Spirit is not within the jurisdiction of material eyes, words, or mind. So is something missing from the paper copy? Or sometimes Prabhupada just quotes the Sanskrit, it doesn't give translations. Srimad Srimad Bhagavatam 1084, 13 states. That's almost the very end. Yasha Mabu Dikuna Pe Tri Datuke. Let's all chant together. Okay. Yasha Mabu Dikuna Pe Tri Datuke Svadi Kalat Tradishu Brahma Ijadihi Yatir Tabudi Salile Ya Nakinar Karhi Chej Janesh Fabijne Susaeva Go Karaha. A human being who identifies his body made of 3 elements with his self is considered who considers the byproducts of his body to be his kinsman, who considers the land of his birth worshipable, Mera Bharat Mahan hai, who goes to a place of pilgrimage simply to take a bath rather than to meet men of transcendental knowledge there is considered to be like an ass or a cow. These are some Vedic statements about spiritual substance. Spiritual substance cannot be seen by the unintelligent because they do not have the eyes or the mentality to see the spirit soul. Consequently, they think that there is no such thing as spirit. But the followers of the Vedic conjunction take their information from Vedic statements, such as the verses in the Katha Upanishad and Srimad Bhagavatam quoted above. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then assured the Brahmana, have faith in my words and do not burden your mind any longer with this misconception. And Prabhupada says in the purport, this is the way we have to understand things, not this from understanding the scriptures, but also we have to take the Mahajana, Prabhupada quote here, clickety click. Mahajano yena gatasa panta. This is Yamaraj's comment to his followers, very famous, that people may know the scriptures, but unless they understand them from a person who's realized them, Mahajan, they'll interpret them in so many ways. So now Lord Chaitanya says, don't worry, although the Brahmana was fasting, he had faith in the words of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and accepted his food. In this way, his life was saved. Tanre Ash Vaishya Prabhu Karile Gamana. After thus assuring the Brahmana, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu proceeded further into southern India. Finally, he arrived at Durvashana, where he bathed in the river Kritamala. Okay. Then he visited the temple of Ramachandra on the hill known as Mahindra Shaila. He saw Lord Parasuram. Okay. Then he went to Setubanda, Rameshwara, where he took bath at the place known as Danush Tirtha. From there, he visited the Rameshwar temple and took rest. So a very nice purport. The path from Mandapam through the ocean to the island known as Pambam consists of sand and partly of water. The island of Pambam is about 17 miles long and 6 miles wide. On this island, 4 miles north of Pambam harbor, is Sitabanda, where the temples of Rameshwara is located. This is the temple of Lord Shiva. The name Rameshwara indicates that he is a great personality whose worshipable deity is Lord Ramachandra. Thus, Lord Shiva, found in the temple of Rameshwara, is a great devotee of Lord Ramachandra. Of course, other people may have another interpretation. But here we have Parampara, this description. It is stated, Devi Patanam Arabhya Gacheyu Setubandhanam. After visiting the temple of the goddess Durga, one should go to the temple of Rameshwara. In this area, there are 24 different holy places, one of which is Danush Tirtha, located about 11 miles southeast of Rameshwaram. Our neighbors are going by on their mechanical asses. Baba says, when the asses run in herds and their hooves strike the earth, they feel very successful, very, very respectable. I have my iron donkey. In this area, there are 24 different holy places. One of them is Danush Tirtha, located about 12 miles southeast of Rameshwaram. It is near the last station of the Southern Railway, a station called Ramnad. It is said that here, on the request of Ravana's younger brother, Vibhishana, Ramachandra destroyed the bridge to Lanka with his bow while returning to his capital. So Prabhupada includes this in his purport, so it sounds like good evidence. It also said that one who visits Danush Tirtha, of course Danush means bow, is liberated from the cycle of birth and death. That one who bathes there gets all the fruity results of performing the yajna known as Agnishtoma. Vipra Sabaya. There among the Brahmanas, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu listened to the Korma Purana, wherein is mentioned the chaste woman's narration. And of course, this is going to be about Sita Devi. The Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur remarks. You see how Prabhupada addresses his spiritual master. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur remarks that only 2 khandas of the Korma Purana are now available, namely the Purva Khanda and the Uttara Khanda. Sometimes it is said that the Korma Purana contains 6,000 verses, but according to Srimad Bhagavatam, the original Korma Purana contains 17,000 verses. It's considered the 15th of the 18 Mahapuranas. Pativrata Shiromani Janaka Nandini Jagatera Mata Sita Ramara Grahini. Sita Devi, Srimati Sita Devi is the mother of the 3 worlds and the wife of Lord Ramachandra. Among chaste women, she is supreme, and she is the daughter of King Janaka. Ravana Dekiya Sita, Laila Agnira Sharana, Ravana Hoite Agni Kwaila Sita Ke Avarna. When Ravana came to kidnap Mother Sita, she saw him. Yeah. When Ravana came to kidnap Mother Sita and she saw him, she took shelter of the fire god Agni. So in the movies, we see Ravana coming disguised as a sage or a brahmana with Shiva Tilak and inviting Sita to come out and cross the magic circle like that. But from here, it was saying as soon as she saw him, boy, she didn't even look at him. His sight was not acceptable to her. The fire god covered the body of Mother Sita. In this way, she was protected from the hands of Ravana. Maya Sita, Ravana Nila. Upon hearing from the Karma Purana how Ravana had kidnapped a false form of Mother Sita, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very satisfied. The fire god Agni took away the real Sita and brought her to the place of Parvati, goddess Durga, who must have received her with great happiness. An illusory form, and asked her many questions. An illusory form of Mother Sita was then delivered to Ravana. And in this way, Ravana was cheated. After Ravana was killed by Lord Ramachandra, Sita Devi was brought back before the fire and tested. When the illusory Sita was brought back before the fire by Lord Ramachandra, the fire god made the illusory form disappear and delivered the real Sita to Ramachandra. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard this story, he was very pleased. And he remembered the words of Ramadas Vipra. E Saba Siddhanta Shuni Prabhura Anando Helai. Indeed, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard these conclusive statements from the Karma Purana, he felt great happiness. After asking the Brahmanas permission, he took permission of the manuscript leaves of the Karma Purana. And of course, again, Lord Chaitanya was born just, the same time, or maybe 6 years before Columbus discovered America. And then they had different people going back and forth a little bit. And they started establishing colonies, and people were just dying and barely surviving in the colonies. Then they started building bigger, conquering local things and building ports and exporting things and developing. So, and the Catholic Church was still very powerful. I don't know if they were Protestants. Yeah, they were Protestants at that time in England. And that's why many of them left, because they were starting to develop the whole Gyan tradition and leave the Parampara. The Parampara, they figured, had become so corrupted, it was not possible to understand God through it. So in India, these things were happening, and it was, who knows, they did not even know of the world beyond India at that point, no? They were just absorbed in all these different histories and Puranas, and they had a culture of these things and temples, So it was a very, very different world where people were absorbed in so many Vedic literatures. Nutana Patra. Since Karma Purana was very old, the manuscript was also very old. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took possession of the original leaves in order to have direct evidence. The text was copied onto new leaves in order that the Purana be replaced. He returned to southern Mathura and gave the original copies to the Vipradas Brahmana. When he was, quote, when he was petitioned by Mother Sita, fire god Agni brought forth the illusory form of Sita and Ravana, who had 10 heads, kidnapped the false Sita, the original Sita. They went to the abode of the fire god. When Amrchandra tested the body of Sita, it was false, the illusory Sita that entered the fire. At that time, the fire god brought the original Sita from his abode and delivered her to Ramachandra. These are the 2 verses taken from the Kurma Purana. Ramachandra Vitar was very pleased to see the original leaves of the manuscript of the Kurma Purana. And he immediately fell down before the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya and began to cry. Vipra Kahe, Sir, you are Lord Ramchandra himself and have come in the dress of a sannyasi to give me audience. You have delivered me from a very unhappy condition. I request that you take your lunch in my place, accept the invitation. Due to my mental distress, I could not give you a very nice lunch. Now by good fortune, you've come again. He happily cooked first-class dinner as offered to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, he passed that night in the house of the Brahmana. Then after showering him mercy, started toward the Tamraparni river in Pancha Desha. Of course, showering mercy, it takes some time, and after collecting all the buckets full in the reservoirs to sort all that mercy out, the Brahmana must have had a lifetime of things to go through and relish from the association of Lord Chaitanya. So, any comments, questions? Anybody is fasting until death, now relieved of their problems? Abhishek, your beard is bigger than my beard.
Thank you, Maharaj.
I gotta shave. I gotta shave it. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Yes.
Krishna Maharaj. So,
Lokananda.
Hare Krishna, Radha ko Lokananda ki jai, Gaur Hari ki jai. So,
Oh.
Maharaj, so you were saying that when Lord Ram returned and then to Rameswar, and then he shot the arrow and broke the bridge. Why did he do so?
I don't know. It said Vibhishana, he did it because Vibhishana requested it, it says. So maybe Vibhishana didn't want a easy access from Rakshasha Loka to Manusha Loka. You know. So I was thinking, came into my mind, he didn't want like a nice bridge connecting Rakshasha community to the human community. How does that strike you?
But Ravan, all those his relatives and friends, those who were Rakshasas and hurting little all saintly people, they were in mainland of India, Bharatvarsha, so they were all causing problem all over while Lord Ram was going through this process in jungle, various, and moving towards south, ultimately to go to Lanka and get Mother Sita. But so a lot of Rakshasas were also there. So already in India, they were there on that mainland and they were causing all this trouble. And yeah, so they were there. So a lot of them.
Well, maybe a lot of them got recalled to fight in the battle. It's like when India was fighting Germany, right? She was recalling all of her soldiers and everything else, you know. She even recalled, was the Second World War? First World War.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was First World War. She has so many divisions, I don't know how many, maybe divisions of sepoys and indigenous Indians were brought to join the battle. Yeah.
So
Lord
Ram and Lakshman, they had destroyed most of them who while traveling in mainland of India and many. So maybe Vibhishan didn't want any more to come from Sri Lanka and try to populate here back again.
That's what I was thinking about. Vibhishana is now he's the king of the Rakshasas. It's like, being king of the tigers or something,
Yeah.
He knows the nature of people, and Ramachandra made a nice little bridge into the tiger cage. And he says, when you're going, maybe you probably should destroy this bridge because, some of the tigers may want to wander out. And they're okay here. Let's just leave them in the tiger cage.
Yes, you are right. Yes, Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you.
Okay, I save you from fasting to death. Okay. Sure. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
It's a beautiful description of the story you just described. Was so pleasing, so blissful to hear this narration. It is so nice. It's so good.
All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Wow. Probably when he was in London, one time, he said, I'm working so hard in my old age so that after I'm gone, you can listen to these, read these purports, share these purports, and become happy. So it's happening. If you become happy, then he's happy with the work he did, the sacrifice he did.
And then we hear all those descriptions from pure devotees like you, their mouth, then it becomes even sweeter, like Sukadeva Goswami. So we relish that bliss.
You were like Lord Shiva. He sees good qualities in bad people. Yes.
Thank you, Maharaj.
I'm actually a Rakshasa disguised as a devotee.
No, it's not that. You are Sukadeva Goswami.
Yeah, but the animal.
Maharaj, so I thought when Vibhishana was the king, all his subjects were also devotees of Lord Rama, isn't it? Not.
I don't. Okay, Bali Maharaj became a devotee, right? You know that story, right? Yeah, okay, he became a devotee. And I think all of his generals and everything else were really, upset by this, Hey, you gave everything. We worked hard. We died. A lot of us died. I lost my arm, fighting all the demigods, right? And they were complaining about this, But Bali Maharaj was strong and, Vishnu was there. So he said, okay, we're all going to go to Patala. There's a place for us. Get on the airplanes. We'll leave and get on the buses. And it's like all the criminals and everything else are complaining, That's actually what happened. They were being chased out of the East Coast. And they all went to Las Vegas. And so the same way, when they all got to Patala, they were saying, this is not a bad deal, This is, hey, okay, good deal, And maybe Indraloka, we had this and that, but you couldn't spit and do all this stuff in Indraloka. God, it was such a, it's a place. And down here in the Patala, so Patala has this kind of enjoyment. What's it called? Bilbasarga. It has enjoyment, just like Las Vegas, which is unimagined, even in Indraloka. But it's of a lower kind of class like that and has different things like that. So I would say my idea would be that, when he took over, that people were in varying degrees. Some people who in that line were then okay, and they were becoming devotees. And maybe next lifetime they'll take birth in a more nice body and, and give up eating people, like that, But some of them were just kind of grumbling and going along with it. Okay, yeah, and getting some benefit, but really wanting, Ravana back. Yeah, when Ravana was here, things were better. Yeah. So that's my view of the Vibhishan Raja.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Yeah, it's kind of Prophet Muhammad. Maybe Vibhishan became the Prophet Muhammad in his next lifetime.
I think he must have better destination, Maharaj.
Like that. Yeah. Wow. Okay, well, thanks to everybody. There are many people here that we have.
I have a question, Maharaj.
Oh, okay.
So, we find all this sweet description of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu going South India and doing so many wonderful leelas there. So, like all the details, like how did Vrindavan Chandra, how did he find out about all these things? Because did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu write it somewhere, or he was like narrating all these stories when he came back and told his associates what happened, or was it his, the servant that went with him that maybe he was narrating all the stories? So how did we find out about all the details?
Yeah, there were two people traveling with him, right? Yeah. What was the Brahmana's name? Is it Krishna?
Raman.
Balabhadra Bhattacharya?
That he was in Mathura, Vrindavan.
Yeah, it was Krishna.
Govinda?
Govinda, I think.
No, I don't think it's Krishna Das or something.
Krishna Das and the other was Govinda, yeah.
Yeah, because one of them, was a servant that went along like this for helping, cooking, for maybe a Shudra community. Then the Lord Nityananda said, just take 2 people with you. And Lord Chaitanya said, okay, if I take 2 people with me, they can't be like my close associates because everybody else will be unhappy, no matter who I pick. So it has to be 2 people completely out of our close circle. And Nityananda said, okay, take this Brahmana and take this one servant. And of course, the Brahmana had problems and was seduced by the Bhattahari, women folk. And Lord Chaitanya had to save him when he came back, and this and that was happening. So I would say that the narrations are coming, from those 2 people. And then maybe the narrations and they're stimulating, and Lord Chaitanya may say, oh yeah, that's what happened. But no, it was like this, So that's what I would say, that the 3 people that Lord Chaitanya was telling people, and the Brahmana and the servant were telling, and maybe keeping notes also.
Yeah, thank you.
Maharaj Ramanand Rai was also in South. Maybe he also made some notes.
Yeah. In those pastimes, and maybe some people showed up and heard them right afterwards, and also quoted.
Yeah, quoted.
Yeah.
And then because there's Kaviraj wrote from the notes from Raghunath Das Goswami and
Swarup Damodar.
Damodar, and also from Murari Gupta, he wrote some notes too.
Wow. The New Testament with Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, nobody even knows who they are, and how they wrote them or anything else like that. And the varieties, and which was selected and which was not selected. There's no real good history of, like that and everything else. And so the Lord Chaitanya's activities and pastimes are much more, what's the word, like clearer historically and everything else. Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Prathamika.
Hare Krishna.
Your house made it through the tornado. Last night the tornado warning went off like at 9:30 or something. I picked my phone up and basically said, if you're in a mobile home, get out and go in a car, find a solid shelter, go to your basement. There's so many spiders in the basement here. So and it was really heavy. It's like don't even think about ignoring this warning. So I grabbed some clevering, ran into the bathroom with my cell phone, the big thing of water, and sat in the bathtub. The whole house shook. The sirens went off. Otherwise, Tandavika may have seen his expensive motorhome, with Anna Persakshama sitting in the bathtub drinking water. Wow, it may happen. Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Maharaj. So with that, Amit, are the girls available to sing the Nishinga prayer?
It'll be 3 minutes. Yeah, just give me 1 minute, please.
Sure.
So 3 minutes we need to discuss what we'll do on. I was discussing with Maharaj what we'll do on Gaur Purnima on Sunday. So Maharaj Jansingh Bhagwan ki jai. So Maharaj was saying that everyone should participate. So how everyone should participate? Any suggestions?
Everyone can sing a song or read a story, something like that, share a realization. Although we don't do much sharing apparently here, so.
We're very crippin' in that way.
People are sharing every day, so it's harder for them. Before it was once a week, so now it's harder.
PowerPoint shows.
Okay. Any suggestions? Any?
Sravanam, so everybody is focused on Sravanam. No one is Kirtana.
I think we should all give our, the best Leela we think for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what we like the best, we should share that. One Leela from Mahaprabhu.
That's a good idea.
People should share pictures of their offerings. You should take a picture
That's
of your
good.
offering and your deities, and everybody should show their
We'll
deities
be
and
there in
what they
2
offered.
minutes.
That's a good idea. That's Maharaj, that's one wonderful idea. I think that will be. And our program starts just after the offering, 7:30, and offering should be done around 7 o'clock, 7:12. Mahaprabhu appears. So any other suggestion? Or I think Riddhima and Anna is ready. Anna is ready, looks like. Okay, Riddhima is ready too. So are we, any other suggestions, or we just go ahead? No other suggestions. Okay. Let's go.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Pranadeladedaine. Pranadeladedaine. Hiranyakashipu Vaksha. Hiranyakashipu Vaksha. Shrinatankanakalaye. Shrinatankanakalaye. Ito Narsinga Parato Narsinga. Ito Narsinga Parato Narsinga. Yato yato yang itato Narsinga. Yato yato yang itato Narsinga. Vahe Narsinga Ritai Narsinga. Vahe Narsinga Ritai Narsinga. Narasinga Madim Sharinam Prapade. Narasinga Madim Sharana Prapane. Tava Kare Kamala Pare. Naka Matuta Shringa. Nanita Hiranyakashipu. Tanubringa. Keshavadita Narahari Rupa. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Tava Kare Kamala Vare. Nakavabuta Shinga. Dalita Hiranyakashipu. Tanubringa. Keshavadita Narahari Rupa. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Nrsimhadev, 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 Jaya Nrsimhadev. Jaya Pranamara, Jaya Pranamara, Jaya Pranamara, Jaya Pranamara. Jaya Pranamara, Jaya Pranamara, Jaya Pranamara, Jaya Pranamara. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Good name.
I apologize for that. Nasi Bhagwan ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, ladies. So that concludes this evening's program. If everyone will go ahead and unmute themselves, we'll recite the Vaishnava Pranam prayer and be on our
कृपया सिन्धुभा एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः हरे
Beautiful
कृष्णा
pictures, Maharaj. Beautiful pictures. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Tomorrow we start at 8 o'clock. And,
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.